Before we start our program, we're going to show a couple of different small segments of the Healing Garden and with interviews of those who witnessed this experience, which has probably been about, Diana, Rick, 6-7 years in the making. So you'll kind of live through the development of this garden with us in short video clips. And then we'll welcome Markel, our board chair, to start us off in our program. Again, welcome to UCAN.
UCAN's mission is to help young people grow from the trauma that they've experienced. And we seek innovative ways to be part of the healing process.
Research shows that being in outdoor spaces, being in gardens, being amongst trees can be a really healing situation for people, particularly people who have problems with their stress.
It's soothing, it's calming, it's nurturing. And so when you go there, it kind of drowns out all the thoughts or negativities and pours in a positive vibe.
You feel like peaceful in a way, like everything like that's going on in the world, you get an escape from that.
It speaks to tranquility, to understanding trauma, to getting in touch with yourself in a peaceful way.
We've been working with young people for over 150 years, and our history is important to us. It matters. It's part of the DNA of this organization.
It's had impact over many, many decades, but it's also an evolving institution, and that will allow it to continue to have impact in future decades as well.
When children read that history and they think UCAN has been around for so long, hopefully it'll translate into their mind, wow, you know, these people have been around a long time. I guess they've got my back.
This space, the Healing Garden, I use for individual group therapy. Therapy can be summed up in just 5 words. Help your client feel safe. The sound of water stimulates the ventral nerve in our 10th cranial nerve, which leads to a feeling of safety. And the sound of water was used in the very earliest mental health hospitals in Europe. I'll ask the young person, let's both count how many sounds we can hear together. And you think maybe the kid will come up with an answer within a few seconds. The youth is in a place of safety. He feels connected with the therapist. Young people who can't go 30 seconds in school without fidgeting, they will sit for minutes at a time, listening very intently. Now that we're calm and safe, now the therapy can begin. That is the healing. The Healing Garden isn't a place where a clinician facilitates interventions. The Healing Garden is the intervention.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful day. I want to thank you, the DJ Andre, for starting the music off with that, because I think it's a wonderful song and I think it's very appropriate for today. What a wonderful day. Good morning. I'm Markel Bridges, and welcome to the UCAN Drost Harding campus on this beautiful, cloudy day. I'm the chair of the board, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our campus this morning, our UCAN home, and to the North Lawndale community. On behalf of my fellow board members who some are here this morning, please raise your hand. Thank you all for coming out. I welcome you to a day that we have long looked forward to officially commemorating. Also want to welcome you to UCAN on behalf of our more than 600 employees who work across our city including about 300 who are on this campus where we stand today. I also want to take a moment and welcome Alderman Michael Scott, who is a friend of UCAN and who has joined us this morning. Thanks for coming out with us. We have been looking forward to dedicating the Petria Place Healing Garden that is an important, beautiful, and an often used place for peace, reflection, and tranquility for our youth and staff. As most of you know, our vision is youth who have suffered trauma can become our future leaders. And as we know that we call our continuum of care, which comprises of a range of services and support, must include resources that allow the youth to strive to know thyself. And we believe this healing garden is an ideal place for our youth who, with our support, to know thyself. Later in the program, you'll have an opportunity to hear much more about the healing garden from our generous benefactors of this beautiful resource. It is an impressive and inspirational story that they will tell. A plan that came to fruition because of their vision, dedication, and belief in UCAN, how we can help people live the life they want to lead. A garden is a friend that you can visit anytime. Rick and Diana Flemings, we express our appreciation to you for bringing this friend to the UCAN campus for our youth, staff, and community to visit anytime. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our new president and CEO of UCAN. As I said last week at our first public appearance, the UCAN Governing Board believes we selected the right leader for UCAN at the right time. Today marked the beginning of Krista's second week, and we are proud to have made history when we unanimously voted to name Krista Hamilton as the first African American and first woman president and CEO of UCAN's 152-year history. We believe that Krista's appointment speaks loudly to UCAN's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, which are cornerstone foundations on how we serve, who we serve, and who we employ. Krista has demonstrated success as a nonprofit professional and career as a leader who is adept at addressing community needs and program efficiencies. She has our strong support as a board to develop a comprehensive plan to enhance our competencies, build our strength, like the creation of this healing garden, and address our challenges to continue moving UCAN forward. So again, thank you for being here, and I am pleased to welcome UCAN's President and CEO, Krista Hamilton.
Thank you, Markel. Thank you all for being here today. I am deeply humbled and honored for this appointment to be in such a historic place in UCAN's history. Thank you for visiting our campus today. As you can see, lots of good things are happening on the UCAN campus, like this dedication and reception for the Healing Garden. As I embark on my second week at UCAN, I think this is day 7 for me. This gets to be my second opportunity to meet supporters, friends, and partners of the UCAN organization. So I look forward to meeting as many of you as I can this morning. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to walk through the garden alone. Fred, he told me that it was definitely something I needed to do before this event today, and I took him up on that recommendation. And I had the opportunity to walk through the garden and reflect on my last 7 days, which have been equal parts exciting and stressful for me, as you can imagine. Yet while I was walking through the garden, I was overcome by a sense of calmness and stillness. And then I noticed the kids playing in the water yesterday, and I wanted to touch it myself as I was walking through the garden. It was just calling me. And I felt a sense of peace as I was walking through, as I thought about how amazing it is to work at an organization that has created and set aside a sanctuary for peace. The families and the youth that we serve in the North Lawndale community, they need this. They need a place that they can take a break from the hustle and bustle of the city life and need a place that they can think and plan quietly, reflect on their past, and plan for their future. As we help families move through the continuum from surviving to thriving, many times we lose focus on the respite time we need to recover from trauma. We live in a world that forces us to be resilient and strong and tough all the time, but oftentimes we forget that we need peace, joy, and healing. So this garden symbolizes to me just that, a place for rest. This beautiful garden will support our dedicated team in being laser focused on helping the youth reach the power of their potential, specifically the ones in our care. So on behalf of the youth, the families, and the staff, I want to personally thank Rick, Diana, and the Fleming family for this selfless contribution and commitment to this community. We are grateful and honored to be a part of your family. Thank you for all that you do for UCAN, and thank you for better equipping us to meet the needs of our mission and to activate our vision as we move forward through gifts and partnerships such as this. So thank you all for being here today with us. I'm so happy that the weather cooperated with our plans today. So I will pass this along to my colleague, Fred Long.
Good morning. Good morning. We are here. We are here. We're here. This is what we spent time doing. It's taken us some years in conception, but it's a reality now, and it's time for UCAN to heal, even without my paper. So what I'm here to do today is talk to you a little bit about who the garden was named after. So the official name of this garden is Patria's Healing Garden. And today we have Patria here with us, which is the daughter of Rick and Diana Fleming, and she came all the way from South Carolina here to be with us. So I'll just give a little bit of background on her, and then she'll come up and share a few words of what she thinks and how the garden, what it means to her. So Patria Hoffpower, got it? Patria Hoffpower, she's the assistant director at Clemson Institute for the Study of Capitalism. Ms. Patria is the assistant director of the CISC, and she holds a bachelor's in government from Skidmore College and a master's in politics from Claremont Graduate University. Ms. Hoffpower has been knowing the UCAN family for quite some time, and she was introduced to us through Tom Vandenberg and Dan Katowski, one of my predecessors, and really helped her to ingratiate her into the UCAN family. Formerly working with the Illinois Lisa Madigan, and now we have her here on our campus and to really entree the inaugural showcase of your garden. Welcome to UCAN. Patria.
Hello, everyone. While this garden bears my name, I'm delighted to be here to honor you all. This garden is about you guys. UCAN has meant a lot to my family as far back as I can remember. And I've been fortunate over the years to be able to share in a very small way. Apologize. The wind is with us today. I've been fortunate over the years to share in a very small way all the good work that UCAN has done, whether it's helping with holiday toy drives or attending youth leadership award dinners over the years. UCAN's been a part of my family for a while, and I'm grateful for that. This garden today it's here for peacefulness, and the message to know thyself written in this garden is a message of self-reflection. And it's important, and it's maybe the most important work we can do as human beings, to understand our loves, our angers, our sufferings, our joys, our thoughts and our actions, and whether they are good or bad. So self-reflections, at the end of the day, it makes our relationships better, including, first and foremost, the relationship we have with ourselves. And that's why it's important for healing and for therapy, yes, but also for growth and empowerment and knowledge and so much more. So self-reflection, I guess, in this way, it starts and ends with the individual. But gardens are most lovely not as individualistic achievements, not when they are cloistered away behind walls, but when they are built and shared with others, with the community. I don't think it's a mistake that the very first state that human beings find themselves in the Bible, is a garden. Just as Adam's life was made richer, though, with Eve, so too is ours with the people around us. So for us, and for the children and the young adults and the participants of UCAN, for all of us here today, while self-reflection at the end of the day is a solitary activity, it sure does help to have a community around you cheering you on. So as the story goes, the Garden of Eden was generous and a place of bounty. And the little beautiful gardens that we encounter in our time now serve as a reminder that nature and the world around us can be beautiful and it can provide. But gardens aren't handed to us anymore. It takes hard work to build them, and this garden took hard work. So again, while this garden bears my name, and I'm honored that my family wanted to honor me, we are here today to honor you all, the North Lawndale community, the religious community, the staff of UCAN, the children and the young adults of UCAN, and all of the people who poured love and hard work into making this little garden so special. And will continue the hard work into the future of lifting up the community and making this a safe place and a home for children and young adults here now and the children and young adults who are here to come. Thank you. This garden is dedicated to you. And with that, I'd like to pass this along to Chaplain Hall, who will lead us in a blessing.
Thank you so much. Can we clap our hands one more time for the generosity and the vision of the Cunning family? To each of you, I greet you with love and with joy. And what a day, what a day. And to our board chair, our new CEO and president, and to all of the partners at UCAN, could everybody, even if you got your mask on, say it's good to be alive? Good to be alive. There's a quote that was written by a great woman. We've heard her work throughout. Her name is Maya Angelou, and she said these words: as soon as healing takes place, go out and heal someone else. And oftentimes we think that healing is a sprint, but healing is a marathon. Each of us, if we have to be honest, have areas in our lives physically. How many of y'all got some aches this morning? The older I get, the more achy I feel. We have healing that needs to take place in our minds. We have healing that needs to take place in our souls, our emotions. What makes us connected is the fact that all of us need some type of healing. There's never a day that goes by that healing is not what we need in order to live. The beautiful thing about life is that no matter what we face, the trauma, the pain, if it was bigger than life, then you wouldn't have woke up this morning. But the joy and the genius of God is that God knew that not only is healing your portion, but what hurts you is not bigger than the hope that rests within you. And this garden is not just about the plants, and it's not about just the water and the design, but it is a place for all of us to come to answer the question within ourselves: what must I do in my journey to heal? Hurt people hurt people. We all have hurt someone, and someone has hurt us. But at the end of the day, the question now becomes to us: what am I going to do to show the world what healing looks like? If I was in church, I'd say, let the church say amen. But because we're not in church, I will say that if I had to give you a hashtag, as the young people would say, I'll leave you with this idea: let the healing begin. Everybody has a different journey to healing, because we all have different trauma, we all have different drama, we all have different stress. But if we all commit to a journey of healing, the world would be a better place. If we all committed to the path of healing, then 14,000 people, mostly from Haiti, would not be looking for a place to go. If we all committed to a journey of healing, then 270 kids would not have been shot and killed in a city called Chicago. If we all committed to a journey of healing, 1.3 million kids wouldn't have went to bed yesterday without food. If we all committed to a journey of healing, then we would not have so many kids without homes, without aunties and uncles, and without parents loving on them. It's easy to commentate about the pain of our country. It's easy to commentate about the pain in our communities. It's easy to even talk about what's wrong with us as individuals. But I want to suggest today that you take a leap of faith into healing. Because when you take that leap, love always catches you. I say that again. If you have the courage to take one step in healing, love will always reach you. Because if we had to be honest, what has all gotten us through our pain is somebody loved us. What got us all through our dark days is the fact that somebody cared for us. What got us through those moments in life when we didn't even want to live is that somebody had compassion towards us. The measure of your life will never be how much money you have, because I've never seen the Brinks truck behind a hearse. The measure of your life will never be how many clothes you have, because if the truth be told, somebody's going to wear it once it's all said and done. The measure of your life will never be your money, because at the end of the day, not only is that not a Brinks truck, but somebody else is going to spend it. The measure of your life is not your degrees, though you should be educated, because I've never seen a board of governance at the pearly gates. But the measure of your life will be how much healing you did with yourself and how much healing you did to somebody that was wounded, somebody that was hurt. As I prepare to sit down, always consider this idea that we see reflections of our own hurt. The reason why a young person is connected to you, a family member is connected to you, even the one you love, is because they are what at one point you once were. In the words of Jay-Z, your present is somebody else's past. Or your past is somebody's present. And so as you take the journey of healing, don't forget to bring somebody else with you. As you take your own leaps of hope and faith and joy, don't forget to take someone with you. Because as I said 3 minutes ago, let the healing begin. Look at somebody around you and say, let the healing begin.
Man, that was solid. Hopefully I can speak like that one day. Appreciate that, brother. So now, time has come for Rick and Diana Fleming to come up and share with us how all of this happened, and then how are they feeling today. When you asked me years ago, Diana, about this concept, I said we're going to make it happen at all costs. We're here, Rick and Diana Fleming. Starting with Diana first, like it always.
Always first.
How would you like to follow those speakers? I'm not the real speaker in the family. I'm kind of been sandwiched between two great speakers. So, my name is Diana Fleming, and I want to thank you for joining us for this formal blessing at Patria's Place. I say formal blessing because I believe the garden was blessed from its inception. I also believe that when you are surrounded by good people, good things happen. We were surrounded by wonderful folks during the creation of the Healing Garden, and that was a blessing. We were a cohesive unit with a focus on creating a place that met the needs of the UCAN community. Tom Vandenberg, a good friend, understood the anguish we felt after the loss of our son. And he suggested creating a healing garden. His friendship is a blessing. Everyone agreed that we needed the sound of water in the garden, but putting big pools of water around children at risk had its challenges and safety concern.
We struggled to find a fountain that addressed our concern. A vendor via Christy Weber, our landscape firm, donated the fountains. The fountains that you see today miraculously met all the safety requirements for the garden. The inspirational bricks in the pathway were suggested by a family member of ours who attended the YLA Youth Leadership Award event. The UCAN therapist chose words that would be most impactful to the UCAN youth. It was not until the garden video was created that we understood the impact of those simple, inspirational words. The UCAN youth understood those words to represent people's care for them. And so when they stand on those bricks, it is a special experience. Again, what a blessing. The suggestion to include an area for art in the Healing Garden created excitement in the UCAN community, but also reached beyond the boundaries of the UCAN campus and to the greater North Lawndale community. The painted wall in the garden was a collaboration of Alexandra Anton, UCAN employees, and volunteers from the UIC campus. The art displays allow art to be rotated with the new work as determined by therapists and staff. There is discussion of a children's art fair in the future. This collaboration of community is another blessing. All that said, the greatest blessing has been seeing the reaction of the youth, the staff, and the therapists to the garden, as so beautifully captured in the video by Ann Colton. The video tells a wonderful story of Patria's Place. You should view all of the videos by going to UCAN's website. Thank you, Ann. The video is a blessing. And there's one more blessing to come, which will be the opportunity for youth to work with their therapist in growing flowers and plants in what is known as horticulture therapy. I am pleased to announce that we are in discussion right now to form partnership with Chicago Botanical Garden to add that blessing to the garden. With that good news, I want to end my speech and thank you once again for coming. And for those of you who have never had garden experience, I'm going to let Darion O'Neill, a YLA award recipient, tell you the story of the impact of horticulture in his life. His video will follow Rick's remarks. Please focus on the monitor at that time. Thank you. Oh, and here's my husband.
That was a typical introduction. Thank you, Diana. And I'm so delighted to be here today. As it's been mentioned several times, this has been a long time coming. But I do want to say that Diana is absolutely correct. This garden has been blessed from its inception. And today is special because we can share that blessing with all of you. And speaking of blessings, my grandfather once told me that in life, once in a great while, if you are lucky, you may be blessed to be part of a project that turns out to be bigger than anything you ever imagined it could be. And that describes our experience with this garden. Our project team worked on the garden, as you've heard, for over 4 years. And early in our process, we realized that there could be something magical here. We sensed that the combination of UCAN's expertise in healing trauma with a garden that celebrated growth, rebirth, and sustainability could be magical for our kids. But we struggled on how to put it all together. Then Laura Angelucci said, let's just ask the children and their therapists and the staff. What a wise suggestion. So we did interviews, we listened, and a plan emerged. But then along came a pandemic and its related social unrest and stress. And suddenly now healing applies to all of us. So we rehuddled, we did more interviews, and we updated the plan.
And here are some of the changes that we made. We added more space to the garden for reflection and for socially distanced meetings. We added children's art to the garden because we learned that art is part of their healing and growth. And we added inspirational bricks and the opportunity for our friends and family to buy a brick and be part of the garden. So we listened and we heard everyone's voices. And with your help, we built a garden for all of you. For our youth in care, it is a tranquil, safe place where they can play, take a deep breath, and think about life's infinite possibilities. For our staff, it is a place where they can relax, shed the stress that is so inherent in their jobs, and hold safe outdoor meetings with each other and their clients during a pandemic. For our therapists, it is a calming environment where they can help our youth heal from trauma and move forward. For all of us, it is a place where we can enjoy sunshine and flowers, take a much needed break from COVID, and contemplate a better world and how we can make it a better world. Now I'd like to take a minute to thank our project team for their creativity, work, and support during the last 4 years. First, I want to thank our good friend, Tom Vandenberg, for his vision and inspiration to create this healing garden. Thank you, Tom. Also, please join me in a big shout out to Fred Long, Ryan Carver, Tammy Reed Tran, and Laura Angelucci, who kept the ball rolling on this project, and I am not kidding you, meticulously followed up on every last detail. And another big thanks to our talented landscape architect, Will Surge and Chrissy Weber, who must have made at least 1,000 drawings of this garden as we made countless revisions. And also a big thanks to Chrissy Weber herself and her wonderful colleagues, Anais Placido and Noah Van Kooten, who have treated this project as a labor of love. And a big thanks to Ann Colton, who's right in front of us, who has told the story of this garden so beautifully in her videos, and to the entire team who helped with the filming and production of them, as well as our UCAN staff who participated in the video interviews. And special thanks to Chaplain William Hall. I'm not kidding you, he gave us great spiritual guidance, and you can tell from his inspirational blessing that this garden is now blessed. And also a big shout out to Andrea Lee, our Manager of External Affairs, and Carly Hansen, our Development Communications Manager, for conceiving and making QR codes in the garden that capture and show the videos. And that was well above my pay grade, I'm not kidding you. And a huge thank you to Megan Davis, our art teacher at UCAN Academy South, and to Kristen Moulton, our art therapist for the residential facility. They have made our dream of adding children's art to this garden into a reality. And speaking of art, I do want to give a super big thank you to Alexandria Anton, a North Lawndale artist, and to the UIC students and the UCAN staff who painstakingly hand-painted, one stroke at a time, this beautiful butterfly and flower mural that has turned an old garage wall into a work of art. And it was a hard job. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And lastly, as Patricia said, we want to thank all of you, our youth, therapists, employees, and our greater community for embracing this project and making Patria's Place into your place. And now we invite you to walk through the garden, strive to know thyself, contemplate wise choices, and let Patria's Place bring healing and tranquility to all of us. But before we do that, we will hear from Darren O'Neill. Please watch the monitor.
The feeling of putting my hands into the dirt, it opens me up and let everything come out. It's a cool feeling too, like just to sink your hands into that and sit there for a second, especially on a hot day, It's cool under there. You find a lot of bugs. I like playing with the bugs and throwing them into other places. I don't like killing them. I like throwing them into other places, getting them out the way of my work. You know, you get to find a lot of stuff in the dirt. Growing up in Chicago, there's a lot of gang violence, there's a lot of drug selling. I grew up in the middle of both of that. It was my birthday, and I was in jail. And I was just sitting there, and I was wondering, when was I getting out? And I never thought I was getting out. I just couldn't take it no more. I found UCAN in 2018 when I was about 18 or turning 18. Without them, I wouldn't have a scholarship. I wouldn't have this job. I wouldn't have pretty much anything. I'd still be sitting on that porch. I'm living proof of being helped by UCAN. I am Darion O'Neal, the 2021 Staines Family Foundation Scholarship Award winner.
That's the story, one of the stories that UCAN has been able to chronicle throughout this last year. So I'm gonna do a little surprise. I love giveaways, and I love having a fun time. And the Flemings don't know that they're getting something today. So I'm gonna present you with some world-class art today because of everything that you've done and given to UCAN. So we have Taposi Bentley here to present you with the art, but she is going to describe it. So I'll be the Vanna White and display it.
These are from my...
Okay, you gotta get this mic. I'll do the whole thing. There you go.
So I wanted to do, Rick, something special for your family as the interim CEO, having worked with you on the finance committee. This is from my foundation, Dharma Foundation, which our mission is to promote peace, diversity, inclusion through nonviolent conflict. It was started with the belief of Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi, who were freedom fighters, one in India and one in the United States. We are giving you, on behalf of the UCAN family, Earshay, one-of-a-kind limited piece that has, it's 24 karat gold. Earshay was a Parisian artist. There's been much talk about art today, and Fred and I thought it was the perfect gift for Mr. and Mrs. Fleming and your family.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's part of my role. I have to know. So, on behalf of UCAN, thank you. Appreciate it. So now, I want to bring out Pastor Hall to close us out. And we know that after this, we have refreshments, we have drinks, and then I'm going to be giving a personal tour for whoever has signed up, and those who haven't. You can join us as well. You will get a personal tour of the garden and also the remainder of the campus and inside of our facility today. So again, thank you. Bring up Pastor Hall again to close us out.
Let's all stand. As we prepare to dedicate this sacred ground in Ecclesiastes, there's these words: there's a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, all which is a part of the journey of healing. And so we're going to do a quick call and response. I'm going to practice so that you all can get comfortable with. Whenever I say together, you say, let the healing begin. So when I say together, you say, let the healing begin. Let's bow our heads. God, we pause this morning to once again say thank you. We say thank you for the generosity of this family. We thank you for this place that you've established over 152 years ago called UCAN. And so we dedicate this ground for a purpose beyond our own imagination. And so God, we ask that everyone that comes through this ground may they receive the healing that they need. Together. For those who come from the north, the south, the east, and the west, may they have a second wind of hope in their life so that they can go back to wherever they came from better than what they were. Together. May more partners journey in healing, journey with UCAN as we continue to do our part in changing the lives of young people both near and far. Together. Now everybody, if you don't mind, stretch your hands towards the Flemings. They lost a son. They can never live beyond a life that they don't know. And so as they continue to give and as they continue to share their story, may they continue to hold their son close to their hearts. And may the healing that they have experienced in their journey be contagious to all those who are around them. Together? Well, the grounds are officially open. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you all.